I have a lot of belief. You have to have great leadership to be that tournament team that can just forget and get back on the road. The trouble is they're going to face an Italian team, probably the team that gets the most out of its resources that it has here. Coach Messina knows he has to hide his weaknesses. Whether this group can expose those is going to be the challenge they have throughout the game. Because this Italian team that we're going to move on to in a moment is just, for me, it's a great team that can make the most out of its resources, and they do exactly that. They know they've got weaknesses. They know they've got no big inside options where they can pound it down there. But Daniel Hackett going out first, Bellinelli, these guys, and Datsomi will shoot the three. Guys off the bench will shoot the three. And then you've got, it's unfair to anyone, just a role player. That's not the right phrase. We've got great role players coming in, say, I'm going to set screens, I'm going to rebound, because I've got some superstars around me. The difference for them today, hopefully, is that Nicola Melli plays a full part, because in the narrow loss to Lithuania, he played less than a half of the game.
And that was because of an injury that kept him out, a knee problem, kept him out of the game. He's ready and raring to go today. Dressed and already been introduced, and Coach Messina, as you mentioned, they've been able to find a way to get victories, but this is the first time their backs are against the wall here. How do they respond? We'll take a break for the national anthems of Germany and Italy, and then get set for the opening tip here on Match Day 4. Well, these two nations don't need any introduction in any sport. They've played a ton of big matches. Whether it be the pitch, the basketball court, doesn't matter. But here we go now, EuroBasket 2017, and take a look at the three officials who will be in charge of this game.
Well, Spain and Serbia and Albania provide the three officials, and these guys have had some big games already, but I think when you look at this one in terms of a billing, Germany, Italy just rolls off that tongue in terms of a major matchup between two great sporting countries. Coach Messina knows that, Coach Fleming knows that. You know, it's a huge game. The winner punches the ticket, as you say. The loser almost exposes themselves to a real horrible back-to-the-wall, got to get out of this game to get out of Tel Aviv game. Here is this roster. Dennis Schroeder highlights it. Second leading scorer in the competition across the 4 groups. Up until that last 6 minutes, this group played superbly well. But they've lost their way a little bit. They've been getting consistent contributions. Kirsten Tardab will be more than aware. You know, he's started every game. He hasn't got that game going from beyond the arc yet. And they really need him because that gives them a little bit more balance in the scoring department early in the games.
On the other side of things, the Italian roster, we talked about it before the tournament began. They're missing, obviously, Andrea Bargnani. They're missing, Danilo Gallinari, who got injured 4 weeks out of the tournament. But these are the guys they have, and they've been able to find a way to manufacture victories. Can they do it again today?
Well, I think, you know, looking at the starting lineup, what Coach Messina has always said is, worry about the guys that are here, get the most out of those. Yeah, we got some weaknesses, this hide them. He always highlights Marco Cousini. He said even in an offense, he may set 5, 6 screens. He may then go and try and get a rebound. He's happy because he's making that contribution to the team. Can they win today? Absolutely, because they've got 12 guys who make that contribution to the team. 2 superstars of the game worldwide. Tommy's a EuroLeague champion. Schroeder's an NBA starting star against Israel, even in the loss, 20.7 assists, but he got distracted by some issues with the officials, and ultimately that may have cost the Germans that win. They told me is, to me, a superstar, but if Bellinelli's going off, he doesn't care. He'll give it to him all the time. It's whatever they have to do for the team. So impressed with the way Coach Fleming has got these guys working as a group. Whoever comes in, and he's been in foul trouble in games, and he's gone deep into his bench, and there's no, oh, you know, I should play. They just go in and do a job. He's done a great job, he prepares well, but he's going up against one of the greats, one of the masters, a EuroLeague champion, an NBA assistant who, all intents and purposes, may well be an NBA head coach, you know, in the near future. There's not a lot that Terry Messina hasn't done in the game of basketball. So when you're going up against him, it's a personal challenge as a coach, and Fleming's going to love it and rise to it. This is one of those, for me, too close to call. But if Italy take care of stuff on the glass and Melli's fit, I'll take them to get the win.
I look up, you talked about great head coaches. We have a chance to see an NBA, 5-time NBA head coach, and Greg Popovich right there on screen now. He'll take a seat courtside and watch his good friend, Coach Messina, go to work against a German squad with an NBA player he's very familiar with in Dennis Schroeder, who's had a terrific tournament. We talked about all tournament long how close-knit this German squad is. The first time they've come off a loss, they had a day to think about it. How do they bounce back? Speaking of coaches, there's NBA coach Mike Budenholzer. He is the head coach of Dennis Schroeder right there, and also the new head coach of Marco Bellinelli of the Atlanta Hawks. So teammates going up against each other here for the first time in Tel Aviv. The last time these two teams played, 2015, what a thriller. Italy defeating Germany 89-82 in a big-time game. This is another big-time game. EuroBasket 2017 off and running. The winner on their way to Istanbul. Tommy inside Melli. He is starting despite the injury, and Hackett right at the 10, can't get it to go. Oh,
you were going to get, it was, what a start. Post up, get underneath, blows the layup, but what a tremendous play, tremendous execution. Just Hackett, he'll forget about it, he won't even be worried about it now. Tremendous start by Italy.
Voigtman thought about the 3. Now Tada, you said he has to get going, he does.
And that's what he gives him. He hasn't given him it once yet in this tournament early in the game. He is a spot-up shooter. He does take shots in big competitions. You know, so that's a great sign for Germany. He could be that missing part of the starting lineup.
Melli down low again. Foul away from the ball.
I'll tell you, when Marco Cousini sets a screen, he sets a screen.
Boy, does he ever.
It's
Bartel picks up his first there as we take a look at the Tada 3.
Christian Tada's done it wherever he's played. That's what he does. If there was a tin with him inside it would say 3-point shooter, hard-nosed defender. He just hasn't got going. If that's the way to get going, tremendous start for him.
I might need him today to get them going and take some pressure off of Schroeder, who's been terrific so far. Tada working on defense. Good job of staying with Hackett. Bellinelli for three. Indeed! You talk about someone hot finding the rage in this tournament. That man right there has been scorching.
You got to watch that scenario because Schroeder's basically matched up on Hackett, but they switched. He's just got to knuckle down and play defense against Bellinelli. He can't be going for blocks. He's got to make, you give him an open look, he's going to make 60-70%.
Schroeder for three. No good, and Atome pulls that one down. Tada now switches on to Bellinelli. Kusin, not known for his offense. He's going to look to pass it off more times than not. Nelly sets a hard screen to free Bellinelli. In and out.
Well, I tell you, see the difference between certain programs in this competition. Bellinelli never got an open look against Lithuania. He's had 2 wide open looks. He's only made 1 from 2. But this German team is a step off him. That's dangerous. Bellinelli could just go off.
Both teams settling for the outside jumper early on. And that's their game. Atome kicks it out. Here's Hackett playing 2-man game with Kusin. Hackett pulls up in the face of Voigtman. No good. And Bartel will track that one down.
Surprised the Germans haven't really tried to see what happens when they throw it inside.
They try there, and it's a turnover, and the Italians will run the other way. Trailing is Kusin. Bellinelli a little upset that they didn't get up in transition a little quicker. There he is on the curl, driving in. Tada reached in, and he's going to get called for the foul.
Every time Schroeder's found himself with Bellinelli, Bellinelli's gone at him. He didn't play hard coming off that screen. He didn't really work to get around it. On this replay, he just took the easy option of flying by. Bellinelli made that. The one before, he didn't go underneath or didn't chase, and they didn't really do a great job. If Schroeder wants to go like head-to-head in terms of who's going to score the most, the way Bellinelli shot the ball, he's going to have to get 2 for every one of Bellinelli's.
There was a shooting foul. Bellinelli averaging close to 20 points per game in this tournament. Missed the first free throw, hits the second. 4-3 early on in an important game for both these teams. They're both coming off of a loss after being undefeated through the first 2. And both of them losing tough ones. Lithuania winning today, punching their ticket to Istanbul. Who joins them? Bellinelli with the steal on the runway. Six points early on, all points, in fact, for Bellinelli. Voigtman spinning on Kusin. It's a good sign if he can get that going in the post for Germany.
He doesn't have to be that quick either, does he? Just be solid. He should be able to finish over Kusin.
Melli inside with the reverse. He becomes the first Italian in the score sheet, other than Bellinelli. Schroeder, pull up, nice. Eight, 5. There's Hackett looking to turn the corner. Benzing doing a good job of showing there. Nelly, Atome was open for 3. Offensive rebound, Kusin. Those long rebounds on those long threes. We'll have to keep an eye on that throughout the game. Now, Atome in the paint. Can't get it to go over Schroeder. Good job by Schroeder staying down that time. He was in foul trouble in the previous game, picked up 4 quick fouls and really couldn't find a rhythm. This guy finding a rhythm early on. 2 threes now for Tada.
And there are certain times as a coach when you show faith and you back someone, 3 or 4 games is not enough to lose the faith that obviously Coach Fleming has in Christian Tada.
He has a tough task on the other end of guarding Bellinelli. Melli for 3. Touched everything, but also touched the top of the backboard, so that will not count. There you see Coach Messina going to his bench early, bringing in Floyd. This has been a guy on this team in Floyd, Ariel Floyd, who's getting his first caps here in a big major time tournament, and he's so far come off the bench, averaging double figures for this team.
Nice. It's crazy how players react to situations. He had a great career in age group basketball for Italy, one of the most successful age groups they had, medaling at under 20. But he's had a great season in the Basketball Champions League, making the Final Four. So it's not a surprise he's out here doing well.
Read an article today. I found it interesting that Marco Bellinelli had no clue who he was until this tournament. He knows him now as he gets inside for the floater.
Schroeder, as great as we know he is, he's got to knuckle down and play some defense here, because whenever he guards, it's almost like go at him. Messina would have told his guys, if he switches on to you, you've got to go at him, make him play defense. Two reasons. One, maybe he doesn't think he's the most consistent defensive player, but more importantly, they're going to work him out at that end to take away his offense.
Picks up the foul as he tried to get around the screen there.
Because at the offensive end, he's been absolutely phenomenal.
He really has.
And Coach Fleming's taking him out much earlier than we've seen him take him out. He's gone for this rotation quite often.
When you're talking about Dennis Schroeder, who's going to the bench with 4:20 to go in the first quarter. Both teams going to the bench early. Natomi will see some rest.
And you would think on paper that once they go into the bench, Germany may have a little advantage in terms of depth.
Bartel for three. Left it short. Floyd pulls down the rebound.
Just not in rhythm, was it? He thought about it, didn't let it flow.
Baliga on the floor for the first time in the game. Melli looking to work inside against Bartel. Waits for a curling Bellinelli. Shows the up fake. Now he looks to show his back and go to work on Tada. Bellinelli fading away. No good. Bartel vacuums that in, and here comes Lowe.
Tada did a nice job. Stayed down, forced him to take the tough turnaround and the fadeaway.
This is Tada. Nice jab step to the basket. They say on the floor. Well, Tada's looked aggressive early on. Bellinelli's first.
I mean, to be fair to Tada, he's not stopped taking shots in earlier games. He just hasn't made any. And now he's made some. And then he puts it on the floor and takes it strong. Confidence, it's a crazy thing. Doesn't matter how experienced you are.
Tice checking into the game for the first time for Germany is Benzing. Looking for Lowe. Lowe probing. Tice, Benzing, inside the hack before the shot. So that will reset the shot clock at 14, and it will be German basketball underneath.
And this is to me the difference between the great teams in this EuroBasket, the really great coach teams. You see a lot of teams, they know Benzing is a shooter, but the Italians then go that little step further. Their execution is that little bit better. They chase him off the three-point line and challenge him to put the ball on the floor. They're quite happy to foul if it's a bad situation in there. And that's the difference between these guys and the guys that got good teams, but they're not great teams.
Voigtman inside, late whistle. They're going to call the foul on Melli. You see Coach Messina asking what was happening there. Foul's already called, though, so that'll send Voigtman to the line for 2 free throws. And he struggled 2 games ago, found a little bit of the range yesterday in their loss to Israel.
I'm not sure how much we should be concerned about the attention that Dennis Schroeder is getting on the bench. There have been people talking to him and just checking something. We obviously can't see. We're on the other side of the court. But Fleming taking him out had a little word of him as well. Maybe we should try and we'll try and find out if there is an issue. I don't believe they'll tell us until after the game, and not even then, because they're only halfway into the tournament. But there's obviously a little concern around something with Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah. Definitely have to keep an eye on that. Doesn't look like he's in any real discomfort, if we can say that from here.
Yeah.
But they are working on something. Could be just a cramp.
Well, Fleming's gone very deep to his bench very early. Lucas Steiger, very experienced. He hasn't seen a lot of floor time so far in this tournament.
Floyd That was way off. And Steiger picks up the rebound. Here's Lowe. Been solid all tournament long. He's looked the best playing with Shorter and allowing him to play off the ball as well.
Yeah.
Voigtman sets the screen for Lowe. Kicks to Steiger. That's a three. And Hackett comes away with the board. Well, Falloy and Hackett, the 2 point guards, playing with each other now for Italy.
And the huge difference that having a fit Melli makes is that even with Belinelli and Datome on the bench, Melli's on the floor. Hackett's on the floor. They got a little bit more power and punch on the inside, and they look a little bit more assured. But Coach Fleming looks like he's looking for a combination that's going to work. This game is tied, obviously, at 10 apiece, but you wouldn't say he would be happy the way his team's functioned so far. Oh,
he's definitely feeling it out. He brings Akpinar off the bench, and he brings a defensive effort. Hackett steps in front of him and shoots a three that misses. And Lowe back the other way. Both teams really feeling each other out here. Not much inside play, but this is the type of game you get in a game with high stakes.
But you'd have thought that Germany would at least have a look in there first, and they haven't.
Akpinar rattles one in and out.
And we've made the point about, you know, some of the Italians not missing. Tibor Pleiss is not here. The Germans have got some size that's not here, but they do have the bigger lineup in this game.
Definitely do. Baliga inside, over that size. It hits. He won't score much, but he does provide the energy, and if they're going to get points from him, they'll take it.
Oh, absolutely. There's not many 2-meter centers in this competition.
No. Nice inside, nice backdoor cut, and Voigtman found him. Tied at 12. Minute 05. Germany's first field goal there in 4 minutes and 21 seconds. A lot that has to do with their leading scorer, who's sitting on the bench right now, getting attention as Aradori pulls up and knocks down a two.
Coach Vassini's got to love the contribution he's got out of Dori and out of Falloy. I'm not sure maybe he did. He obviously knows what they can do. He's selected them, but he's getting great contributions in games. Maybe more than he expected.
Lowe, speaking of getting some contribution, steps up and knocks down a Jimmy. Trading baskets now with 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Melli, Aradori, turning the corner. That's a three. Hits!
Same play, just further out. Got the same screen action. Gets his feet set in the same way. Messina's is great at getting guys the shots they want, the shots they take week in, week out.
Nice pass by Lowe, finding Voigtman on the good cut. Germany able to reduce the lead just to 1. Well, a good first quarter, good action here. 17-16, Italy in front, trying to punch their ticket to Istanbul. Well, you can join us in conversation on social media with the hashtag. The official hashtag of EuroBasket is simply hashtag EuroBasket 2017. And keep up to date with all groups here at EuroBasket with the official app. Download it now in the iOS or Android app stores. Some highlights here from the first quarter. A lot of outside shooting, nothing inside, but it's a 1-point game.
And I think, I don't think either of us are saying that Germany should just play a lot of slow down, post up stuff. But you saw in a couple of backdoor plays, if they can get it in there, they have an advantage. And you've got, against any Messina coach team, if you have an advantage, you have to keep exploiting that, because he's trying to hide it. And he knows it. And then as long as, and the thing that really has helped Germany is that I'm sure Messina would say, well, this guy's not a threat. This guy, they're good, but we'll take them. But Tadar has really given Germany that balance.
He has.
And it's going to be interesting to see, and I'm sure that they're going to have another look at Schroeder defensively. He's come up with his hand taped up. Coach Fleming categorically said in the press conference that the little cut he had the other night had no bearing. Now, maybe he needs a little bit of protection and padding on it, but he said it has no bearing on how he's going to play. I think if he plays, he's got to get himself going by playing defense here.
The best Germany has played is when they've been able to lock up defensively and also turn teams over and get out and run a little bit. Not necessarily for layups or anything, but quick offense.
Absolutely.
Lowe uses a nice screen. He was able to catch up to it after the alley-oop was thrown, and he wasn't expecting it, but can't finish. So Schroeder on the floor. You see his left hand taped up. Did receive a cut in the last game against Israel. As you mentioned, Coach Fleming said shouldn't affect him too much. Let's see what happens. He gets in the air and then gets away with a steal. Here's Schroeder in the open floor to the rim. Boy, he's so quick.
Dodged the bullet though again because Bellinelli got him in the air. And that's I still don't like the way he's trying to play with Bellinelli or whoever he's guarding. Bellinelli got him again.
Yeah, he did. That's Daniel Baldi Rossi who missed the three there. Striger comes away with the rebound. Schroeder thought about the three. Now they want to go inside Tice. Tice working in on Baldi Rossi, spinning inside, can't convert on the layup. Last touch, they say, by Germany.
Thiemann gets in the game really early. I mean, it's clear that Coach Fleming is, because he's been pretty comfortable with his lineups. He's been pretty comfortable with his rotations, and he's looking for something that he obviously isn't seeing at the moment with any group on the floor.
Well, one man we haven't seen is Isaiah Hartenstein, who came in their victory against the Ukraine and really provided some energy out of necessity. They were in foul trouble with their bigs, and he earned some extra minutes in their game against Israel. Hasn't seen the floor yet today. Schroeder trying to penetrate and kick. It was knocked out of bounds. 16 on the shot clock. Hasn't really looked for a shot yet, but this is the way he's normally started games, and looking to get everybody else involved, and then at points he seems to take over. 10 on the clock. Lowe looks up, checks, and now shoots a three. No good. Diamond inside. He gets fouled by Baldi Rossi.
I'm so pleased I'm not an official. To me, we work it out with the replays. It looked to me like both guys were holding and bumping and going after it, and no one really pushed off. Tommy's coming back after having a reasonable period on the bench. He's got 5 minutes into those legs on the bench. And all of a sudden you double that offensive options.
There was the day off in between match day 3 and match day 4 yesterday, so both teams should be relatively fresh. Schroeder driving into traffic, and it will be a violation here. Shot clock violation. Italy basketball. Game looking for some sort of flow right now.
Yeah, that's it. You're waiting for the game to sort of open up, break open, whatever the right phrase is, and maybe they've both been prepared very well. They're canceling each other out a little.
The crowd could sense it a little bit too. They seem to be sitting on their hands a bit. Bellinelli for 2. That's in and out.
Yeah, Bellinelli missing 3 or 4 shots you'd expect him to make is one of the reasons the game has no flow.
Low for 3. No good. Diamond inside. Can't get it to go. Tommy looked as though he did get a fingertip to it on the putback. Hackett. He's doubled in the corner. Bellinelli over to Tommy. Got away with a walk. Aradori from the corner. No good. Baliga tried to tap it away, and a good rebound there by Thyman. He's doing a good job against on the glass so far.
I think he's done an excellent job coming in.
Schroeder fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Hey, talking about Thyman, he's come in, he's banged around, he's drawn the glass on every opportunity defensively. He's always been active. You know, that means he's already giving the group something coming in off the bench with that energy. But even in that situation with Schroeder, we've seen him earlier in the tournament, Germany, get off of a miss and run. And they've had guys down the floor and they run, and Schroeder might give it up earlier, or he'll just go coast to coast. It's almost as though, almost doubting, not doubting, but questioning themselves.
And we saw that towards the end of the Israel game. That's how they allowed Israel to sort of come back into it. They were up 16 points in the 4th quarter before losing that one by 2. Schroeder hits his first free throw.
And a little bit like they were in that first part of the game, first opening game. Yeah. They just were a little hesitant. And then all of a sudden, someone took the brakes off, and they were off and running.
That someone was Dennis Schroeder standing at the line.
Yeah. And it was with Lowe, him and Lowe in the backcourt with that quickness and taking Schroeder sometimes away from the ball so he could get it back and attack. Interesting. It's an interesting game. It's a very technical game at the moment.
Very tactical, yeah. Tommy looking for Melly right now.
Yeah, they've got to protect someone like that, Tommy. There's a difference between chasing and denying and holding, and you've got to let guys. You've got to give guys some protection.
Yeah. So Lowe exits the game on that foul call. Tada checks in. The foul actually was assessed to Stryger, who's guarding the Tommy at the moment. Hackett comes off the curl. Looks like the clock. Uses the Baliga screen. Hackett attacking the rim. Can't get it to go. Schroeder picks it up. Head on a swivel. Finds Stryger in the corner. Now Schroeder in the lane. Poked out of his hands. They say going the other way. (20-17) the score. 6:30 to go in the first half. Italian supporters chanting now, trying to get their team a little bit more involved here. Melly inside, banging. He'll go to the line for 2.
Well, let's take a look at it. Well, I don't know if we're going to get a replay. I think Schroeder playing defense is going to be a key fact. He can't do things like that. You know, you can't be holding and hugging. Sooner or later, the official's going to get it and see it, and that'll be a cheap foul he'll lose. Melly, for me, is going to be the difference maker in this game. If he has a game, and I'm still favoring Italy. He's been very active. They move the ball really well, gets it with advantage, draws the contact, makes the throw.
See head coach Greg Popovich alerting those that are not on camera.
He's still coaching.
So back to a 1-point advantage. Italy shows a little bit of pressure. Very soft pressure though. Tada back into the game. He has 8 early. Check that, he has 6. Schroeder now with 6 on the shot clock. Schroeder trying to split the D, does, throws it up. Can't get it to go. Tommy was fouled away from the basket.
Yeah, Thyman just put a little bit too much contact on him as he tried to get to the ring. And we talked a lot in the Israel game about you have to make a decision about Dennis Schroeder, about where you want him to go. Italy have made that decision. Take him to traffic. Don't let him go and create a drive lane. Take him to the traffic. So Kusing just flattened off and did not give him the opportunity to turn the corner effectively. And by the time he's turned it, there's help. He's got to take a tough shot.
It's been a while since Italy has been able to knock down a field goal. They've getting points at the line. Melly spinning, gets his man in the air. Thyman comes over with the help and rejects it. He's provided some energy now for Germany off the bench. Schroeder Dice for three, and the foul! The Atlanta Hawks head coach appreciating that one for the newest Boston Celtic.
See, apart from the foul, which is not going to please anybody, they make a bank from the three-point line. You know, it seems like you've got to help Kusin because we don't play one-on-one with Schroeder, so we're going to try and take him to you. So Schroeder does a good job, hits the open man, but you're not going to win it on bank shots from the three-point line. So it's still, you know, they've decided how they're going to try and how Germany have got to beat them.
4-point play completed there. 24-19. 5:10 remaining in the first half. Atomi probing. Benzing just checked into the game. Will pick up a foul.
It's that Kusin screen again.
Yeah.
He does a great job of getting his feet in the right place and getting an angle that's going to be difficult to get around. Because he is not the biggest body. He just does a great job on the execution.
Oldest player on the team at 32 years of age. You see his value. It's not gonna show up in the score sheet. There he is, creating opening again from his first screen, and ends in a Atomi three. The initial screen by him provided the opening for Bellinelli, and then there was a scramble, leaving Atomi open for three. A carry there for Tyson was not called.
Yeah, really.
Cassine again sticking his hands in there. A couple nice plays for the big man. He was running the floor and then said, no, thank you. I'm not going to take this ball here. Atomi will take the three. Left is short. It'll fall right back to him. And a fresh 14 for the Italians. Bellinelli on a defensive Tata. Steps back. Tough shot. That's an air ball. Good defense by Tata. Timeout on the floor. 24-22. Germany leads with 4:19 remaining in the first half.
Well, that's what we talked about. Tata. I'm a spot-up shooter who plays defense, and that's literally what you've seen. When he's been in the game, it's so much more pressure on Bellinelli. He had to take a tougher shot, lean back, throws the air ball. And that's all about just working, making someone work hard for the shot. None of these percentages are going to be anything to write home about. They're 33 and 30 again with both teams, really wanting to do a better job than that from the perimeter, because the Italians in particular are only going to win that way. So it's got to credit the defense in the main, but also I don't think Bellinelli's going to shoot this poorly as the game develops. They're going to find open shots like they told me. I think they're fine. I still would like to see the Germans be a bit more aggressive. More aggression, more aggressive both ends of the floor. Mate, I think if the more technical a game this is, the more likely Italy are to win.
It does feel like an Italian pace right now. They like to slow the thing down, and I don't want to call it ugly, but that's the kind of basketball they've been accustomed to playing the first 3 games here at the tournament.
And it's like they're here to win, and the way to win is to not make it an up and down game, because they haven't got the horses to run. But what they've got is a few guys you can just pour in points. And in a low shot number game, they're going to win.
Yeah. Heckman checks into the game for the first time for Germany, so they've gone really deep into the bench. Voigtman, now Heckman. Melli comes off with the block. The rotation defensively there by the Italians.
Technically, it's right where it should be.
Atomi. Falloy run off the screen. Atomi driving on Heckman. Going to the line for 2.
Number 33.
Heckman just gets all off balance and lets him go straight back down the middle. And then a little bit too much contact, and you put one of the best free throw shooters in the EuroLeague on the line, you're probably going to get 2. Which probably means he'll miss.
You called him a superstar. He is just that.
Yeah.
but a low maintenance one, if I could say that. No ego. He's content with not having to score, even though he's averaging 17 a game.
Yeah.
But he just kind of waits for his moment. Feels the game out.
See, it's never about individual numbers for these guys. At this level, for me, it's that's when you make that step. If it's your turn to lead, you lead.
Here's Lowe. Trying to drive on Bellinelli. A lot of dribbling for Lowe. Franz Theis inside, rising up. Great defense by Melli. German fans want a foul, but I think that was straight up. Bellinelli free for three. Indeed!
Well, there's your rhythm of the game. Defensive stop, nice transition. Flatten the defense off, get the best shooter in the tournament. The opportunity to knock an open three down.
Schroeder driving in was tripped up. As we take a look at the last Bellinelli three.
I mean, every single German defender dragged so far down with the early transition. Everyone's under the foul line.
Yep.
That's just a recipe for Bellinelli to knock down the three. And all he needs is one, and then he's off and running.
And once again, you saw Kassin was the one to try to create that problem with the good screen, freeing him up. You see him taking a breather there.
Well, this is the Italian small lineup. They don't have a recognized center. Melli's the big.
Yep.
Then again, the Germans don't really have a recognized out-and-out five. They have two big fours.
Schroeder turns the corner. Hackett thought he had all ball, but Schroeder will go to the line for 2 free throws. Hackett looking up to see the replay. His first foul. Here it is. You be the judge at home. Ooh.
That's why I'm not a referee. That's exactly why I'm not a referee.
That's a tough one.
I mean, there was a little contact, but if there'd have been that much contact and he hadn't gone after the ball, they'd probably let it go. But it didn't look a lot of contact across his arms.
No.
That's one of the attributes that Daniel Hackett has. He's 197 as a guard, and it doesn't matter how athletic anyone else is. That's a tough ask when a guard tries to post you up or go over you. He does a great job at making it difficult for you to score.
Played last season at Olympiacos, now making a move back to Bros.
See, Bros will need him to contribute. Olympiacos, when they gave him the chance, he really did contribute. But it's such a pecking order on that program that I think in many ways he's going to be better suited in Bros.
Under 3 to go here till half. 27-25. Bellinelli for 3, no good. Schroeder picks it up. No red jerseys in front of him, so he slows it down. Job transition D by the Italians. Schroeder breaking down the D, finds Bartel.
That's a tough finish in traffic. And Schroeder's because of the way the Italian defense is structured, he's having to become provider for others. And Bartel moved really nicely, just dropped it to him. We got another tie at 27. This is going to go all the way.
There's Atomi in the corner. He uses the jab step. Skip. Melli for 3. That's an air ball. Bellinelli tried to save it. Couldn't do that.
If you'd have told me that the Italians were going to have so many wide open looks, and they've had a lot, and you were going to get air balls, and the percentages, it's going to be where it is, and you're like, no, that's not the way Italy are going to play, because their three-point percentage is down at 31%.
Wow.
And for a team that wants to shoot it, it's not going to be a 31 on the game.
No, it won't at all. They've been able to find the stroke in the second half, especially in games that really have broken the games open in the 2 wins that they've had in this group. Reminder, you can go join us in conversation on social media with the hashtag EuroBasket2017 as we take a look at the assist to turnover ratio. Right now, Germany with 5 turnovers. That's been somewhat of the difference and really indicative of the great Italian D throughout.
I mean, to put some context around some of those stats, they're averaging 49% from the three-point line.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they're way down on where they'd be. And it's not as if they've been, like, against Lithuania, they were having to make tough ones. They're being given open ones here. And they are way under where they're going to be. That is, statistics over periods never lie in that sense. So I can't believe they're going to be down there at 30. That means at some point in this game, they're going to go on a run of threes, because that's the way they play. They're going to get a lot of looks. And unless, you know, if Coach Fleming and they talk about that, they'll be like, look, guys, you've really got to defend the three-point line. Bellinelli's at the same percentage as the team should be, although he's higher than that across the tournament. But this is a dangerous place for Germany to be.
They've been able to close out quarters really well, though. They have 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes, to try and close out this half after a sluggish start. Heckman. Low. Italy in a zone. Low breaking down. Fired it up, hit the front rim. Italy looking to run. Aradori. Right into Lowe's chest. Great defense by Lowe. Taking the charge.
And that's when you got to say to yourself, there's no point in really me trying to advance it, because they got 3 or 4 bodies back. I will just have to stop. Because he's like, they've already got, you can see 3 red shirts. Aradori's not trying to beat Lowe, so why is he going in there? Lowe does a great job. We talked about Germany putting their bodies on the line in every single game. Right after that practice that you mentioned in day 1 where Schroeder takes a charge. If Schroeder takes a charge in practice, everyone's looking to take one.
They have been. They've been getting charges across the boards. Their guards, their bigs, their wings, all looking to take it in the chest and sell out for their team. Voigtman. Inside Bartel working on Melli. That's a travel.
Bartel's got to be more decisive there. He had the opportunity to make a move, then make a move. Don't be like thinking too much. Once he picks it up, he's dead now. Melli's not going to move. He's going to stay right there. And then you are in a situation where you're not being decisive with it.
Still 27 all. Bellinelli. Otome on the defense of Heckman. Out to Baliga. 7 to shoot. Bellinelli driving. Can't get it to go.
That's a good series defensive by
really
Germany.
Good.
Very good. Didn't get turned, didn't get broken down.
And then they turn it over on the other end. Schroeder just trying to do a little too much there. Here's Hackney. That's Homie on Schroeder. Just rising up above him and putting it in.
Once he had him down there, he wasn't giving that up unless someone was wide open. Didn't do anything extravagant, just takes the short jumper.
German crowd stands in support as they realize this could be the last shot of the first half. It's Schroeder. Now 5 to shoot. Schroeder, floater, nice. Shot won't count. And we'll go to the break the same way we started. A good one brewing here in Tel Aviv. Germany 29, Italy 29. A ticket to Istanbul on the line.
I mean, what a challenge this tournament is. You get so many different looks from each team. It's not enough to say you're going to prepare in a particular way. If you look at the stats here, as we say, Italy averaging 50% pretty much for the tournament, down at 31. Rebound numbers, I think, are going to be pretty level as they are. 8 assists for Germany is going to be an impressive number. It's only 5 for Italy because they've missed open looks.
Yep.
You know, foul, no one's in real foul. 7 turnovers for Germany is nasty. It's not the sort of number they want compared to the only 2 Italian turnovers. Everything we thought we were going to get. 2 well-coached, very technical teams have gone out and put a well-coached, technical game on the floor. If I'm Germany, I'm worried because this Italian team shoots the 3-ball better than they're doing. If I'm Italy, I'm never going to get worried about missing the shots that we want to take. I would have thought the Germans may have tried to exploit a little bit on the inside. The reason they've not been able to is that Nicola Melli just plays great defense in there, and as a team, they rotate so well.
It's going to have to be some adjustments made on both sides. Both teams going into the locker room still with an opportunity to get to Istanbul. 29-all is your score. We'll leave you with the pictures and be back for the second half here at EuroBasket 2017. Back we are here in Tel Aviv. Group B, group phase action. All tied at 29, Israel and Germany in a battle, and it seems as though this has been the tactical coaching matchup that we expected it would be between Messina and Fleming. As we get set here for the second half, Carlin Gay, Mark Clark on hand. And Mark, we were talking about it off air. If this pace stays the same, it does favor the Italians.
Well, I would think so, purely because a 50% three-point shooting team is not going to shoot 30% as they are at the moment. So, in a relatively low-scoring game at this pace, 2 or 3 threes, and all of a sudden they're in a 10-point game in a low-scoring game. And Germany haven't shown what I think is their best side, when they cut loose a little bit, when they play a little bit of pressure and get the chance to run. So, and that makes it a non-technical game, because the game is much more open, much more up and down the floor. Do they almost trust themselves to say, that's the way we can win this game? They're almost trying to be Italy playing like Italy.
Yeah, you see Dennis Schroeder, we wondered whether the hand or not would bother him or not. Seems to be okay. Found it interesting off the camera. You didn't see it at home, but the Germans just got into their huddle. Normally they'd already be there, but they decided to take a couple more extra jump shots, maybe trying to get the blood flowing a bit, trying to get a lather going so they get into the second half with some energy, because they have not had it really throughout this game.
And you see right there, number 55, you see like Isaiah Hartenstein. He is like in a situation where, coming off the bench, the 19-year-old, one of the things he gives is automatic energy. So, you know, instead of perhaps going for a more established player, not necessarily to start the third, but if it's at the same tempo, maybe throw him in. Yeah, he may. And don't forget, he can guard the Cousin or someone like that. That means he's a little bit released to try and maybe steal it. Just get in the lane a little bit more, get after it. Just see if that might ignite the tempo for this German lineup.
He was the only one that didn't come off the bench in the first half. Number 55 in red, if we do see him. Dice, Voigtman, Benzing, Tada, and Schroeder, the 5 for Germany. Cousin, Datome, Melli, Hackett, and Bellinelli, the 5 for Italy. Italy going from right to left on your screen. They will inbound the basketball. Game tied at 29. A reminder, the winner of this game punches their ticket to Istanbul. Already going from this group, Lithuania, who won earlier today in grand fashion, blowing out the Ukraine. Atomi inside. That's poked away. Benzing sticks a fork in it. And here comes Germany the other way. Well, they got the stop that they would need to start the quarter with.
Well, they tried to run that same first play that they ran at the beginning of the game, and
Benzing attacking. Ice tried to follow up, but couldn't get it to go. German crowd still standing, now chanting defense. Bellinelli right by Voigtman, can't finish. Rebound inside, Cousin, and it will stay on this end. Voigtman was trying to foul him, and Bellinelli went right by him.
And it's Bellinelli missing shots that we've been seeing him make. He doesn't look tired, because obviously he's played a lot of minutes in every game.
The day off yesterday as well.
Yeah, and it's just, both teams are a little bit tense in the game.
Well, a lot on the line. You said the winner essentially punches their ticket to Istanbul at the knockout stage. Here's Hackett. Cousin. Bellinelli. Back to Cousin. That's a 2. He had to take it as the shot clock was expiring. And Voigtman vacuums it in. Schroeder with a head steam gets blocked by Melli.
Melli, for me, you know, he's deceptively quick. He's always in stance. His angle of body at times is tremendous. He's clean on his fat, you know, challenging shots. Yeah, he's just a superb level player. Fenerbahce are really going to get even better for having him.
Heckman checks into the game for Germany. Benzing will sit. Voigtman couldn't handle the shorter pass. Tommy going 1-on-2. Got in the air and finds Bellinelli in the corner. Lee will slow things down with Hackett. It's underway here in the second half. Here's Melli. Looking for Bellinelli. He has Schroeder on his back. Schroeder in the lane. Nice defense by Dennis Schroeder, not fouling his NBA teammate. Skip pass. Hackman knocks it down.
Well, we didn't see Heckman until game 3 in this competition. A little bit to the surprise of a lot of the German fans, because Heckman's got a reasonable reputation. He's a EuroLeague player. He doesn't play a lot, but he gets time. And they thought they'd have seen him before yesterday. That's a nice, sweet move.
Bellinelli for 2. Maybe that gets him going.
And that's why you can't chase him, because if you chase him, he curls so tightly, you're always going to be behind him for the shot. And I think that's money in the bank. He's shown that in this competition so far.
There's Schroeder. Heckman with the jab, finds Voigtman in the corner. Back to Heckman, gets his man in the air. Pump fakes again, that's at the buzzer, and it's good. Voigtman for 3. The Italians protesting that it might have been a shot clock violation.
And that's the second one for Voigtman. The first one was off the bank. There he makes another deep 3 at the end of the clock. Can't much do more than they did, the Italians. Tremendous defensive series, the way they scrambled.
Tommy working on Voigtman. Got away with the carry, hits anyway. See that Tommy trying to organize his troops on the defensive end. 9 points and counting for him. This is Tada. He got off to the hot start at the beginning of this game from long range, hit 2 threes. Schroeder gets fouled on the pass. He's hit the ground quite a lot today, but bounced right back up that time. Melli in the corner right now, took a shot to his nose. There you see it right there. The last, oh, that was still in his hand. Shot clock went to 0. That was definitely still in his hand. Counts anyway.
It did look, well, at the time it looked late, definitely, but
34-33 the score, 6:20 to go.
You can't say enough good things about Kusin, can you? As a 5-man, his job, he's out in the passing lanes, he's outside the 3-point line, he's still following what Coach Messina says the rules are, and that's why he's got confidence in him. That's why he has faith and trust.
Kusin will go to the bench after taking a shot to the chops. Baliga will check in for him. Baliga doesn't provide the same amount of size, but his energy level is sky high. Voigtman will look to exploit the smaller Baliga. Over the top of him with the jump hook.
Marta Bosanik, a big man. That looks sweet, doesn't it? A lot in rhythm, real high release.
Is 9 here early on in the second half. Melli, that told me for 3. Left it short, gets his own miss, goes to the knees and then gives it away. Tada, skip pass to Schroeder. Schroeder, Heckman, spinning, kicks it back out. Tice with that Tommy on his back. Tice inside, rising up. Oof, tough shot. Heckman for 3, no good, and Hackett will run onto it. Heckman had an opportunity to shoot. You heard someone from the crowd scream, shoot the ball. Foul out on the floor as you take a look at Kusin holding ice to his eye. Trying to reduce some swelling. He has a bandage on the right side of his eye. Might be a little bit of blood as the Tommy leaves the game. As so does Hackett. Floyd checks in Aradori as well. Aradori giving him some good minutes in the first half.
I think these two guys have been the difference maker for this Italian team coming off the bench. They haven't lost as much as some people would have thought they would. It's a 3-guard set. They're not the biggest 3 guards you've ever seen.
Floyd spinning in the lane.
Oh!
Talk about crafty. That's when you think there's no angle, he finds one.
Great footwork not to travel as well. Great composure.
He said he's a scorer off the bench. He's averaging double figures off the pine for Italy. Schroeder. That's his first bucket where he didn't initiate it. He just made a cut and found an empty space on the floor.
Aradori just forgot he was guarding Schroeder. Just went to sleep a little bit after the switch.
There's a Melli watch by Tice. No double come, so Melli goes to work. Bellinelli. The screen comes for him. Melli. It's fouled by Tice. They close that a little wild there.
And, you know, those type of calls worry me with players because there's 2 seconds on a shot clock. Melli's put the ball in for, yeah, you got your closeout angle wrong, but he's on the floor. 2 seconds, he's gonna have to take a tough one anyway. Why burn the foul then? Just try and contest it.
14 back on the clock for Italy to work with. Aradori watched by Heckman. Floyd crossing over. Now comes back to survey the situation. Bellinelli at the end of the shot clock, no good. And Dice pulls down the rebound. There's Schroeder with a head of steam. Inside, floater, in and out. Those are the type of shots that went down in the first 2 games. They're starting to fall out now. Melli driving on Tice. Tice thought he had his hands straight up, but the crafty Melli finds contact.
And because of the foul before that Tice burned when he didn't need to, that's 2 quick ones. That's his 3rd foul. And the second one of those is an unnecessary one in my opinion. But Melli, in transition, chance to get an early post up, flashes to the post, makes the move. It's the tempo when the Italians want to get into those secondary options is very, very good. And then Tice, who was doing a really nice job, has to sit because of the first foul, not that one, because of that foul on the closeout.
Bartel, who started on the bench to start the half, will replace him, number 22 in red. First free throw good. There you see Kassin still putting the ice bag to his face, and doesn't look like he can really see too well at the moment. Have to keep an eye on him. 6 points now for Melli after that free throw. Back to a 1-point game. Voigtman down low. Tada, offensive foul. Floyd did a good job of baiting him there.
And it's one of those scenarios, isn't it? Make him go where he doesn't want to go, and Floyd's in stance. He gets a little contact, pushes off. There, he's already there. You can't just barrel him over. And that's a bit heads up. Floyd's, as coach always says, Floyd does a really solid job all around.
30 years old and getting his first caps in a major tournament for Italy. And his debut has been terrific so far here at EuroBasket 2017. Baliga. Bellinelli in the lane, spinning. Finds Melli, that's a 3. Everything but the bucket. We said eventually those will fall. Let's see if it does happen. Schroeder attacking, wanted the foul, doesn't get it. It's going to stay on this side of the floor. Last touch by Italy. He's looking up in disbelief. Dennis Schroeder. There we see Tada and Tice on the bench. Still 15 to shoot for Germany. Voigtman to Lowe. Lowe waits for Schroeder to come around a screen. Schroeder for 3. No good. Melli vacuums that in.
And the pace of the game has taken people like Schroeder and Bellinelli almost out of their rhythm on those shots. It's not that quick release that he is doing so well.
Bellinelli for three. Lowe picks that up. Lowe penetrating. Bartel, three. Oh. Struggling to find points here in the third quarter are both teams. It's almost waiting for this game to break open a little bit and have some sort of pace to it. Hasn't come. Bellinelli for three now, in and out. Melli on the rebound. Aradori finds Falloy. Falloy for three. Left that short. Baliga.
What an effort.
Nice hustle. This is Aradori for three. They can't get one.
You can be a perimeter shoot. You do not have to just live and die outside the three, though. The ball movement for the Italians has become a little bit, it's not really turning the defense at all.
Voigtman breaks the ice, finally. Knocking down the three, and he's found a touch here against the Italians. 4-point game. Aradori probing over Heckman. Inside, Baliga tried to tap it away from Voigtman, but he can't. Dangerous time here for Italy. They hadn't scored in quite some time, and Germany now looking to play with pace. Stolen away. Bellinelli going to the 10. They'll go to the line for two shots.
I'd say he's a great example of if you're going to go, because his chances to score then were limited because Voigtman's big, he was going to challenge it, but he didn't give him the chance to block him. He took it strong right now. The only way you're going to stop me is to foul me, and that's what happened. And maybe this will help Bellinelli get that rhythm back. Going to the free throw line always does help you. And it's like the cavalry's coming in for both teams at mass substitutions.
Gigi Datome spent an awful amount of time on the bench there.
You know, Melli's sitting, and Hackett will come in for Bellinelli for the last minute and three if he makes the second.
His shooting woes continue.
It looks a little heavy. That's the only way to describe it.
It's the second, and as you said, he'll go to the bench for Hackett. There we see head coach Greg Popovich sitting right on in front of us, taking this one in. I'm sure he's enjoying it because this is a tactical battle between two good head coaches here in this group. It's almost like both coaches have to go to plan B and C on every trip down the floor. Lowe with 10 to shoot. Hackett staying in front of him nicely until then. Lowe blew right by him.
Wow, the rule must be to make him use a screen, because that's what they did on every other one, and Hackett just got a little flat-footed, and Lowe just went down the lane.
Kusin hands to Hackett. 5 to shoot. Hackett dancing inside. Kusin, he won't get it off. Good defense by the Germans. And you can feel them starting to probe a little bit, starting to percolate here on the defensive end. This is the German team we saw in the first two wins on match day 1 and 2. Cincerini checks into the game. Number 20 in white. This is the first time we've seen him this game, and he's seen very few minutes this tournament. Lowe with 4 to shoot. Diamond, Steiger won't get one off. Didn't know how much time was on the clock, but his team leads as we head to the third quarter break. It's 43-38 in favor of Germany. A ticket to Istanbul on the line.
Well, these stats, again, it's not going to be one of those games where you go, wow, look at the way they shot the ball. It's down at 20% now, Italy. I'm saying it's going to go up. It's now down at 20. But they're getting, in some ways, they got fewer open looks in that period because the German defense really did extend. But they just got very happy settling for it. They had that one series where they had 4 3-point attempts, 3 of them wide open, and none of them are dropping. And I think the other thing about the German defense, the more they miss and the more they take, they'll just extend. They won't have to think about help because there's no one attacking the ring. So it's going to be a little bit of melee inside, perhaps. It's going to be a little bit more penetration for Italy. Germany, Voigtmann's had a great game, but he's had a great game. He's made some big shots. He's made the bank 3, the corner 3. And no one has really taken this game by the scruff of the neck and said, I'm going to take it at you down the middle, and I'm going to take it to the hoop, because Schroeder can't finish at the moment because there's a lot of challenge on the shot. It's just a classic EuroBasket game, much more classic than some of the other ones that have been a little bit up and down, and a little bit run and gunnish. This is about 2 teams trying to grind one out.
It's an old school battle right now between 2 teams, 2 nations that know each other very well in every level, across every sport. You see some of the pictures here, the intensity starting to rise now with 10 minutes to go in the game. 43-38 in favor of Germany. Both teams trying to find their way to Istanbul. A win today would give one team a ticket and leave the loser having a lot of work to do on the last match day of the group phase, which is tomorrow. Strager for 3, no good. Cincerini pulls it down. How can he contribute? He hasn't played much for the Italians. Is he the answer to turn this game around? Stagger gets called for the hold there.
But Cincerini had a really quite important role at Milan in the EuroLeague. He's 6 points a game. He'd come off the bench. He was expected to make things happen with energy. Not he. If he came in and did that for Italy now, they'd be in great shape.
Hussein back into the game after taking a shot to his face, and he has that bandage over his right eye. That Tommy. Critical minutes for Italy as Bellinelli sits. That Tommy misses a 3. Battle for the ball. Last touch by Germany.
And that's a Cincerini moment. He's up the floor when the Italians aren't really up the floor. He just thought he would stay. Things happen around Cisalini. Good, bad, or indifferent, things happen.
That's Tommy watched by Bartel. Falloy. This is Cincerini. Uses the Cousin screen. Now dribbling on Akpinar. Cousin, Falloy for 3.
That's great defense again by Germany. They just don't get turned. Everyone stays at home.
Lowe steps into a 3. Left it short, and that Tommy pulls it down. Now you see the turnover numbers. Germany 10, Italy 5. Even though the 10 seems high, Germany hasn't really given away a lot of live ball turnovers. Most of them been dead ball turnovers, so the fast break points are quite low. The Tommy, his 3 no good. Cincerini again with the hustle play, an offensive rebound this time. Aradori attacks to the basket. Gets fouled, he'll go to the line for 2.
There is a veritable lid on this Italian basket. It really is.
On both ends.
Oh, it's the scores, 16, 17, 13, 12, 14, 9. This is a unique game.
This is a real joy for a basketball purist as Aradori knocks down the first free throw.
And now it's a case of, when do you bring your guys back? When do you bring your guys back that are going to close this game out?
Well, there's going to be a run. Either team is going to go on a run at some point in the game. It's a matter of when.
And it's almost like this game. This is the sort of game where they've been like very low scoring. All of a sudden, both will just fire off for 5 minutes.
Here's Lowe. Akpinar Schroeder waiting to check in at the next whistle. Diamond gets his man in the air, and they say the foul is on the floor, so no shot.
And
he dipped in.
Yeah, I'm a little bit with Nicola Melli here. When he took off, that space was still there. And when it's almost like a call from a few years ago, should we say?
Yep.
No, in fact, you know, he was landing on Thiemann. Thiemann made it look worse almost by trying to look like he'd lean in. But Melli would have landed on him anyway, I think. Now he's going to claim there was space. But the slow-mo made it look like he was going to hit him.
So that foul allows Schroeder to check into the game, and that sends Datomi now to the bench. So both Datomi and Bellinelli on the bench as Benzing, who just checked in, firing. Bartel with the offensive board gets fouled. He'll go to the line for 2. Free throw so important now in a game that's this close, and that's struggled to find some offense.
Well, Borderossi's hardly played. He's picked up the 2 fouls. He missed a box out there. You've got, in these types of games, you've got to be technically thinking about the game on the bench. You can't come in and take a while to pick it up because something's going to happen to you straight away, and he just missed the box out very poorly.
2 free throws pure for Bartel, pushes the lead back up to 5. Eight minutes to go in the game. Both these two teams trying to punch their ticket to Istanbul. Ardori probing. Falloy for 3. Indeed!
Someone just took the lid off, basically. That was a tough shot as well, deep in the corner. Poor Ardori had the layup. But that's the way this team's playing. Penetrate inside out.
Foul there by Cincerini.
Neither coach has used the timeout yet. This period could take a long time.
There's the Floyd 3. The flyby by Schroeder. See the reaction from the Italian bench. It's like, finally, we got one to fall.
First field goal for 7 minutes.
Wow. Schroeder leaves it. Diamond. No call as bodies crash to the ground. And now Bartel picks up the foul.
Yeah, it's a nice job by Balderossi because he just used his body to box him out and then stayed there. Bartel tried to climb all over him.
So Dice comes back into the game.
Still no Hackett, still no Bellinelli, still no Datomi coming back. 7:20.
Plenty of time. Tada waiting to check in. He wants to take low, and he does. So essentially the starters in the game right now for Germany, as
except for Voigtman, I think that's the only one, and Bartel and Voigtman are like for like. So Benzing's been a no factor in the game at all. He's not really.
Well, he hasn't found the stroke. The last game he was quiet as well. Hot in the first 2. First game he was phenomenal. Falloy inside, Melli. Great defense by Bartel. Taking away the space. Now Schroeder with the head of steam. Back to the trailing Bartel. Thought he was going to take the 3. Gave it back to Schroeder. And Cincerini with the foul. No basket. Even though it looked pretty. Fouls now a factor. It's Italy 1 away from the penalty. And there's a lot of time in this game that's really close. Could be a factor here. Tada. Kick out Bartel. Looking for Tice. Tice wants to post up on Falloy. Now Bartel driving. Oh, tough shot.
There's nothing else Nicola Melli could do. Tough finish. Bartel.
Cincerini turns the corner. Tapped out of bounds by Bartel. It almost feels like momentum starting to favor Germany now.
But just when you say that, Bellinelli comes back. It's only Datomi to return. And then the Italians will be. It'd be interesting to see if they go with just Melli on the inside. I think they probably will. It's whether Hackett comes back. He didn't come back yesterday until very late.
Cincerini getting the extended minutes today. Up top, Melli underneath. Melli punching it home.
And Cincerini, as we said, good things happen. So the first time they've gone down the gut of the defense in a long time. Cincerini sees the pass, just lays it out there for Melli to get the two.
Back to a 2-point game. 6:10 remaining in the game. Schroeder, he's been quiet today. Now looking to attack. Kicks out. Bartel for three. Indeed.
Wow, Bartel's gone the tough two. Then he's gone with a deep three. It's the great thing, national team basketball. Sometimes you don't know where your guy's going to come from because everybody can play.
Chance of defense coming from the German supporters now. Cincerini driving, kicks out. Barley Rossi with the flyby. Bellinelli stolen by Schroeder. Schroeder looking to push now. Schroeder dancing, kicks, Dice, Benzing. Schroeder dancing on Aradori. Looks for Tada. This feels like a possession where Benzing normally knocks down a three. It's Tice for three in the corner. No good. Cincerini right down the lane. Can't get it to go, and Tice pulls down the rebound.
Difference between him and Bellinelli when he went. Bellinelli went, if you're going to stop me, you got to foul me. Cincerini tried to avoid everything.
And it comes back with the deflection after getting beat down the floor by that man, Dennis Schroeder. Good job of not fouling. Baliga checks in. Falloy will check in as well. Cincerini gave them great minutes, and Italian supporters appreciate that. Must be tough. You don't play for a couple games in the tournament, and then you get asked to play in a huge one and give good minutes. Schroeder with Falloy on him. Driving, and he's fouled. Now free throws the rest of the way for Germany with 4:44 in the game. 11 points for Schroeder. You asked when Gigi Datomi would come back into the game. It's at the 4:44 mark here.
And they do go with, they've still got Baliga in the game. So there's no Daniel Hackett. It's almost like Messina doesn't want to finish games with him.
Schroeder hits the first. You have the choice between Falloy or Hackett as you take a look at the Atlanta Hawks head coach, Mike Budenholzer.
It's an interesting call. You know, it's with Bellinelli and Falloy out there, Hackett just gives you that little bit more of an athlete. They're going to take Schroeder out for a blow with 4:44 to go.
He has 13 so far. Low checks in for him. Maybe some defense for offense.
Well, it's a big possession because in a low-scoring game, 7 is a margin.
It is. Melli. Looks for Falloy. Baliga sets the screen. Looking for Bellinelli. He drives in, got off his feet. Datomi. Back to Falloy. Falloy on the flyby and the floater. Patient offense there for the Italians.
Oh, there's never going to be panic here, is there? They're going to work their way back. They know they've got to get back in at this end.
Benzing inside. Tice working on Melli. Tice was fouled. How long does that man sit as we take a look at the last foul?
Well, the signal the official gave was that, you know, the hold across the arm or the hack across the arm. You can't quite see that.
Tice knocks down the first free throw.
There was contact on the arm that was, you know, protecting the ball, but it's always tough to decide who's initiated that contact.
Tice makes them pay at the line. Timeout on the floor. 54-47, 4:05 to go. A big one here in Group B.
The interesting thing now for an Italian team that doesn't really guard the floor and doesn't play quick is that even though there's an eternity left in the game, it's only 7 and they have the ball. This is where you have to really trust yourself and stay with what works for you. Now, what works for them is obviously creating that open look from the perimeter. Although, as Floyd demonstrated, the Germans are taking that away. You've then got to attack it and finish. But that's just trading, and you can't do that, so they need to stop. But somehow, I think they've got to try and get, even if it's a tough one, a look from the three-point line, because that's what they do. They're only shooting 21% from the three-point line.
We just saw the stat on screen. They are 49% for the tournament, so that's got to turn around at some point.
You know, and you got to be fair, the Germans are chasing them off the line at any opportunity. So, you know, it's not just them shooting poorly. The Germans are making them shoot out of rhythm, and in the areas they don't want to shoot it. And down the other end, the Germans are now from the free throw line, as you pointed out. And in this sort of game, that's probably the safest place to be, because these guys can shoot the free throw.
Floyd picks up the rock, 9 points and counting for him. Melli, they look inside. Hadn't gone inside to him in quite some time. Let's see if they set something up. It's Bellinelli, that's a 3. Left it short.
So with 4 to go, you're thinking Melli going one-on-one before he kicks it may be the better option.
Schroeder dancing. Tice, get it back to Schroeder. That's a 2. Indeed! Dennis Schroeder. Maybe it's Dennis Schroeder time. He has 15.
Well, it's a big lead now. It's a 9-point lead, which could disappear in a hurry. But you're being chased off the three-point line. Bellinelli's being chased everywhere he goes.
Gets fouled by Bartel, who was trying to recover. It's a tough ask for him to try and defend Bellinelli coming off the screens. We take a look at the last Schroeder 2.
But you know, the great thing is we see the Schroeder 2, go down, is that he didn't doubt that what he's supposed to do is get out on him and make him play inside the three-point line. So he was giving himself up for that, because if you just played for yourself, you can go, make it. But the deal is, chase them off the three-point line. If you're in a bad shape, you can foul, you can reach, you can stop it. And it's another adjustment that Coach Fleming has made in this competition for a different game that just enhances the way he has prepared this team.
This was, as you said, a different type of game that they've been in all tournament long. And credit to the Germans, because we've said at the beginning of this game and at the beginning of the half, it was an Italian pace, but they stuck with what they've come to play with and been able to adjust. And now have a 9-point lead as we're 3 minutes and 17 seconds away from the finish line.
There's a number there that pretty much says the difference between the team. 15 to 8 in terms of assists. That's an extra 7 occasions where they've got a wide open look or a quick look or around the ring look created by the passer. Whereas you do get the view that Italy have had to work hard for a lot of the stuff they've got.
And that's been the case for the majority of the tournament for anyone that's been playing Germany.
Yeah.
They have been able to hang their hat on their defense, except for that 6-minute period against Israel, and it cost them. See if they're able to kind of close out the game playing the same type of defense.
They thought it was all over, I think. Melli has got to become a factor here.
Hackett back into the game for Italy. Atomi driving, sky hook, can't hit. Another tough shot forced by the German D. Well,
they've done a great job. Atomi tried to take it to the ring. They don't help off of Bellinelli.
Nice inside, and the foul! Gorgeous pass. Nice. Getting 1 to go, +1. Big free throw here for Germany. 3-point play completed. Is the mountain too high to climb for Italy? They need buckets and they need them soon. Hackett. Floyd. Aradori. He's fouled on the drive. No Gigi Datomi. Interesting choice here for Coach Messina.
Well, it's not, if you're Germany now, you're still got to chase them off the line. If they have to go to the free throw line, it's fine. You've got like a 12-point lead now. So, yeah, they make the two. You're going to score, or you're going to score something. So it's a long time, 2:41. But if you don't give them threes, it's a hard ask to come back from 12.
This will help. Clock stopped. Opportunity at 2 free throws. Aradori knocks down the first. Trying to get back down to 10. He does. He has 9 points in the game. Akpinar will check in for Tata. Important possessions now the rest of the way. Pressure shown by Italy. I try to trap Schroeder. He blows right by that. Benzing. He walked. Well, they needed a turnover. They got one. Benzing hasn't found any flow or rhythm to this game. No points in 14 minutes for Benzing. 10-point game, 3:30 remaining. Hackett attacking, probing. Falloy tried to find Bellinelli backdoor. What a defensive effort there by Tata. And Schroeder says, let's slow it down and use some clock. The game's shrinking now for Italy. Schroeder sees Melli licking his chops. He wants to go inside now for Theis. Theis tried to slap it off of Bellinelli, won't get a shot off.
But if all else, still take the 24. You know, you take the 24 as opposed to a worst case scenario of a turnover. And we're under 2 to go.
Where will the offense come from for Italy? No Gigi Datomi, he's sitting on the bench. Can they free up Bellinelli or Melli? It's Falloy. Hackett for 3. Can't get it to go. Minute 40. And again, Schroeder content to eat the clock. This has been a grinded out effort for Germany. Schroeder spinning in the lane, and he traveled. Timeout Italy with a minute 23 to go in the game. As we see the travel there by Dennis Schroeder. 59-49 the score. Time running away for Italy.
And there's just enough time, isn't there? Just enough time with 1:23 of a 10-point game. Because they've still got those same shooters that have shot 50%. They've still got the ability to shoot the ball out. Tommy's sitting on the bench.
Yeah, 1-3 could really open it up.
Yeah, if they get 1-3 and all of a sudden there's, the senior will come up with, we're going to score and do this. I'm assuming Fleming's still got, well, he's only got 2 to use now because he's under 2 minutes, but he's still got his timeouts. He'll use them. That means there's going to be not very many opportunities for Italy to get up the floor.
Well, the winner of this game will move on to Istanbul alongside Lithuania from this Group B. If Germany win, their matchup against Lithuania tomorrow is for first place in Group B, which will be huge with the crossovers with Group A. Chris Fleming's bunch is a minute 23 from the finish line. They are up 10. And as you said, that 10-point margin in this type of game that's been a grinded out, slow down, crock pot type of a game could mean a mountain maybe too insurmountable for Italy to try. But the way they shoot the 3, they might have a chance. It's Falloy, down to 7. And that took 3 seconds off the clock.
Well, where's that? Well, Falloy, to be fair, has made some 3s, but expect Schroeder to spend a lot of time with the ball.
Schroeder driving, gets fouled. They'll go to the line for 2. No basket on the follow. Schroeder will go back to the line for free throws. Let's take a look at the Falloy pick and roll with Melli and He's been terrific off the bench for Italy. Cousin will check in for Niccolò Melli, who's out of the game with 5 fouls. That's big because he's one of those guys that can hit the three and he can stretch the floor. So one less three-point shooter now on the floor for Italy. Gigi Datome getting set to check in as Schroeder knocks down the first free throw. Take a look at the drive here at Melli's final foul. Lead back to 9.
Well, the Germans go very, very small. Take Benzing out. It's 4 guards and Daniel Theis in the game. They told me should be the option. He'll get it away regardless.
He replaces Hackett. So Falloy using the screen of Cousin. Bellinelli, Akpinar, all over him. And a steal there by Tada. Low in the open floor saying, slow it down, let's use clock. Hands it off to Schroeder. Germany can feel it. Chance of Deutschland from the German supporters. Schroeder to Theis. He walked. 31.9 seconds to go. Now it's all about point difference here. Unless the Italians can get a quick score. Roy comes off 2 screens. Theis waits for him. Aradori will drive to the tin. Reverse no good. Tapped out Cousin to Falloy. He'll take the 3 and knock it down. 14.7 seconds to go in the game. Germany not out of the woods yet. 61-55 is the score. Germany in front.
Falloy, 15 big points. He's been the one guy that really has got it going.
Especially from long range.
Yep, the one guy. I mean, Bellinelli will probably be down. You know, Bellinelli has the 12 points. But 15 points for Falloy, and he's done what he does every week in, week out. That's all you can ask guys to do. But this German team is very, very well coached by Coach Fleming in terms of looking at different options and combinations. You think in that first half, he kept searching for a lineup that he felt was going to give him what he wanted.
Finally found it. They went into half tied. It's a 1-point game after the first quarter, and it felt as though it was really a flow that favored Italy, but Germany stuck with it, so credit to them. And now have shown that they can compete, and not only compete in these type of games, but win these type of games. Stay alive when your jump shot's not falling. Your star, NBA star, really hasn't found it. But their defense, they can hang their hat on that. They've held Italy to 55 points here and a poor shooting percentage from the 3-point line. They get it into Schroeder, and Italy won't foul. Schroeder will attack, kick out, low for 3. No good. Bellinelli pulls it down. He'll get 1 shot off. That will count. No good. And Germany takes the victory, 61-55. Their game against Lithuania will be for first place in Group B tomorrow.
Well, you've just got to tip your hat to Coach Fleming and that German team, because in the end of the day, it was their defense that chased the Italians off the 3-point line, that chased over screens, that actually stopped the Italians getting to any rhythm at all, and keeping them to 55 points. A team that came into this game average, shooting 50% from the 3-point line, just tells you how good a job they did on the perimeter, and they just gave it up for their group. 24% from the 3-point line, only 30 for Germany. Rebounding just about favored the Germans, but only 7 offensive rebounds. They just there was a lot of missed shots, obviously, so at 16 assists, their ability to share the ball. The Italians, just efficient as always in terms of turnovers, just simply didn't shoot the ball as you'd expect them to shoot the ball. We can analyze it however you want. They got shots, they missed shots. And you can credit the German defense for making those shots as tough as they possibly could, as often as they possibly could.
Schroeder had 6 turnovers in the game. He really didn't find it. And a credit to Germany as their star, who's getting a hand from the crowd right now, only with 17, led the way. Still found a way to score 17 points, even though it felt like he had a subpar game by his standards.
Yeah, he had one of those games where it wasn't his typical type of game.
Right.
You know, his pace, is the way that he got his points was different. But even when Bellinelli did get shots, he had to come hard off screens. They were continually chasing him, and in the end, he missed some little gimmies for him. And maybe they asked him in the press conference, did he think he would have enough energy to play the 5 games? Well, I think to an extent the Germans have really ran him off his feet a little bit and have forced him to shoot a percentage that is way below his norm.
So 2 big games tomorrow now for these 2 teams. Germany now takes on Lithuania. They've already punched their ticket to Istanbul, but a chance now to head in at the top of the table. On the other side, Italy now takes on Georgia with their game pending tonight against host Israel. That will be a big one. Could be a must-win situation for them to move on.
Well, and the thing about that game is I don't think Coach Messina would have wanted to have that game to secure his space, because the physicality of the Georgian team from day 1 would give him a problem. The physicality in days 2 and 3 he'd be able to deal with.
Yeah, it should be fun. We have one more game left here on match day 4. It will be Israel and Georgia. We will leave you with the pictures from a German victory, 61-55. They're on their way to Turkey.